In Jujutsu Kaisen, curses are born from human emotion. In this video we will check whether curses are real. And I know it because I had hundreds of them. Do you know the feeling when you are riding a car that something might be strange, that you feel in your solar plexus a dump feeling or something like a pressure? Then this might be a very little curse. How does this come? For example, you're driving a car on a highway and then there might be a reckless driver, and in this case, is not so friendly to you, and you need to drive to the side, or he is very close behind you and you might feel something inside of you that you don't feel well with the situation. On the one hand, the situation might be dangerous, and this could be the reason why you don't feel well. But when the danger is over and this car is gone, it might be possible that there is something left in your bones or in your muscles. And many people tell me, and I feel this also myself, that this is the aggression of some drivers, of some people. It's not only in the traffic, it can happen also in other situations, but especially in the traffic, there's actually no connection to anybody else because everybody is in its own car and on a motorbike, and you cannot talk to each other. You don't see the eyes, but there might be such a feeling. And this means that those people who send this aggression and you feel it, that they are a little talented and they don't need to make a cursing ritual, but their strong emotion towards you, that you, for example, shall go away, that he can pass through and he's coming with a very high speed, and then this is coming towards you, this is sent to you. Sounds like, go away, now I'm coming here. This means that there will be sent a small curse. This curse will not last long. This is a good thing on here, but it is there. There's something that he is not wishing you the best. And a curse is something where somebody is wishing you all the bad instead of all the best. And most curses last for longer than only for a short time. But if the sender, who is not doing a ritual, is forgetting about you in the traffic, then he will be with his mind somewhere else, and then the energy will be focused on this place. So this impact in you, in your muscles, in your bones, in your solar plexus might disappear after a while. But if you meet a lot of those people during 1 or 2 hours riding a car, then it's you will have a lot of stress and you don't feel well with it. And so this is a small type of a curse, but there are even bigger ones. As I said just before, not wishing you the best and last for longer. There's a difference between a magic attack to harm you and a curse. It's also magic attack to harm you, but the difference here is this, that the attack is like a rocket. It drops, explodes, and there will be a big damage at once, and then it's over. And a curse means there will be the damage for a long time, and it will be not over if the sender will not stop it. And this is a great problem. So we see from Jujutsu Kaisen, when curses are made, are created by human emotions, and if people have negative emotions, then this brings up a special energy. This is right. But one point which is very important is that the word Jujutsu of Jujutsu Kaisen is not only the art of cursing, it's also the art of summoning and making rituals with magic, with spells, not only in a negative way. It could be also something good. And I think here might be in the translation to English a small mistake from Japanese, because it means more than just a curse. This is only one thing we need to know here. And this is why they can use this curse spirit power for attack, for self-defense, but also not only for fighting, also for good things. But in most cases, they use it for fighting. Okay, and this is something that comes from Japan a long time ago. And as we can see in Jujutsu Kaisen, some humans will be changed, transformed by a magician, like for example Mahito, into a cursed spirit. And then they don't look very good. So there's the power of an evil person and or even a cursed spirit who creates other cursed spirits and makes a lot of damage. This in this way is just the story of Jujutsu Kaisen. You will not find this in reality, but there are parallels you can see in the Japanese history and also in the Haitian African history. And for example, in Japan, there was in the beginning of the 10th century a man at the court. His name is Sugawara no Michizane. Usually this family often is busy with poetry and calligraphy and such nice things, but he made a career on the court because the Tenno, the emperor, liked what he was doing. And this was very rare at this time because another great powerful family was there and didn't want this. And when this emperor was not the emperor anymore and the next one came, he was exiled very soon because of an intrigue. And so he was so famous and then exiled that it didn't take too long until he died in exile. And then a lot of strange things happened suddenly, that those powerful people from the court of this Fujiwara family suddenly died. And there also was a big fire in the court, that the emperor was injured, and many of those of the enemy of this Michizane who was exiled also died, and everybody was dying. And then they recognized that the spirit of this deceased exiled man was a vengeful spirit, and that he will not stop killing people until he would be satisfied, or until the whole family would be killed, and everybody who belonged to this. And this is why they started to make this exiled deceased man to a spirit, something like a god, and he became very famous being a god. He got his own shrine, the Kita no Tenmangu shrine, and other shrines all over Japan, more than 10,000 of those, where everybody can pray to him for poetry, calligraphy, and knowledge, wisdom, and so on. So what this guy liked before he made his career on the court, this is what kind of spirit he is now, and what is possible to pray to him. And the other part is gone in here. And it took quite a while, but finally it was possible to manage this situation from the government in Japan with this shrine, and making him to a good god, to a good spirit, that this killing stopped. So this is in Japan, for Japanese, it's not a belief, it's a real history. It's a real story. It really happened. And the shrine still exists, and everybody can visit it and pray to this spirit of the man who made the career and was exiled. And a very similar story we find in voodoo in Haiti. So there were many African people sent to, for example, Haiti as slaves. And the religion, what we call today voodoo, of course, came originally from Africa. And then they did a lot of rituals in Haiti against the slavery situation. And from this occasion, also many priests were killed. And those priests later became a special type of loa. Loa is the spirit of is a voodoo spirit in this religion. And the Petro Loa, which emerged in Haiti and not in Africa, are similar to this in Japan, vengeful spirits. So they are fire spirits, hot spirits, and it's possible to fight with them and to make a great fight. And and this is very similar. And nowadays it's possible that everybody who goes the voodoo path could pray to them and make rituals with them. And if you're kind to them, then they are not so dangerous, but everywhere it is said that they are very dangerous, and this is one of the reasons why voodoo is called that it is very dangerous and also evil. But I'm very sure this is just a story more from Hollywood. It's not that evil like some people believe. And so here we have from deceased people the cursed spirit. So and this cursed spirit is very angry, yeah? And sometimes in Haiti it also happened when those voodoo priests were killed that they were cursed by the white people, and this made them again to a special type of a cursed spirit. And this idea was taken in Jujutsu Kaisen into the story there. And now I come to one thing. I told you before that I had more than 100 of curses. And I don't mean only those car driving curses. I mean something much more heavy. Because about 10 years ago, there was a period in my life where suddenly a lot of things, very dangerous occasions come to me that are not typical for my biography. And this is a very important point. If you live your life and suddenly things happen, not only one, many of those or some of those happen which does not fit to your bio, then it's possible that you are cursed. And it took me a long time to find this out. And what happened actually was that I had a lot of different accidents, all in most cases with my legs, that I was injured and that I fell down and had an injury and I was hit, and many things happened. Also horrible nightmares occurred that, for example, I would die by burning in an airplane and other things. And I had all those occasions never before. I was never afraid of flying with a plane. And this suddenly happened, and in those dreams it felt quite real. And then when I wanted to go to Bulgaria to give some Reiki lectures there on a Reiki festival, before this flight it was very strong with those nightmares. And I was thinking about not going there, but I went, and when I was at the airport, I had a very bad feeling and was sending Reiki into the situation that I will have a good flight. And then suddenly there was an announcement just before entering the plane that everybody have to wait for a longer time because the technicians found something on the plane that need to be repaired. And then I went to a stewardess and asked what was happening there. And they told me that the turbine is out of order, and they are happy that they found the problem, because this could have ended up in a disaster, that this part would explode. And then I was very surprised, and not surprised, because if this would have happened, then maybe this nightmare would have become true. And so it took a time, and then I was able to fly, and after this nightmare thing was suddenly gone. And later I recognized that this was some evil magic that was made against me, and yeah, but I'm still here, as you can see, because I found a way, and later I will tell you how I found this way. And when I arrived in Bulgaria in the hotel, strange things kept going. For example, that the bed I was sleeping in collapsed with me, and then on the next day my clothes were stolen, and a lot of strange things. But since then I came a lot of times to Bulgaria, and after I had overcome those curses, those strange things have never happened again. This means the fault is not Bulgaria, the fault is some energetical problems, some curses around me. And one more thing, this friend from Bulgaria, the organizer, also came often to Germany, and he visited me, and I brought him to the airport. And on the way to the airport there were a lot of strange situations that he told me later on, that it is on a highway in Germany more dangerous than if you are in deep Russia. That was somehow very funny, because a lot of really dangerous things happened, and there was a highway with 4 or 6 lanes, and depending where you want to go, and I was almost on the left side, and there was a row of cars on the right side, and inside there was a black car, and there were of course many other cars, but suddenly it came out of this lane and tried to hit me, and I had to move away, and it was like in an action movie. And then I used the power of my car, and in Germany it's possible to ride quite fast and to get rid of this guy. And other such things happened, that cars suddenly came from the other side towards me on my lane, and things like this. And this all belongs to curses. And maybe you wonder now, why is it a curse, and why would another person come on my side? And there is a reason for this. It's a magical reason. It's quite complex. I can not tell you everything here, but I can tell you in my community, a link below if you like. And it's complicated, and maybe you know such occasions. And if there's a crash, and a friend of mine had a crash in such a situation, was not injured at all because of protection. You hear this? This is my protection I have in here, and this protection is connected to spirits who protect you. So it's not just a stone. It's much more. It's more complex, and it's really working. And the car was completely destroyed. Both cars were destroyed, and nobody was killed. And the car driver who came to the opposite lane said that this is not true. She was going straight, and this means something was on her eyes that she was not able to see what is happening, and that she believed she was just driving straight. When I had those accidents in one of my Reiki classes, in my master classes, came a guy who told me that he thinks it's strange what I'm talking about and what is happening to me in the last months. And he said that he thinks that this is not normal. He thinks this might be harmful magic, and it could be possible that there are curses. And I didn't believe in this at this time because I thought if you are just thinking of love and light, then everything will be fine. And then he told me, yeah, you might think of love and light, and you Reiki people do this a lot, but you really have problems. So maybe love and light is not working here. And then I said, I need to be more in love and light. And he said, no, it's not working like this. And then he has shown me a book, and on the book was written something with voodoo. And I said, oh, no, I don't know, I want to do anything with voodoo because I was influenced by Hollywood voodoo stories, and I thought this is evil. And then he said, okay, you don't need to read the whole book, but just read those 2 pages. And on those 2 pages there was written something that it might be possible that one person or many persons curses another person or a group of persons, that they will have injuries with their legs, car accidents, and a lot of things. Exactly what happened to myself. And then I was wondering, how is it possible that in just a book is written this, what I'm experiencing? And then he told me, yeah, this is the truth. This is real. Almost nobody knows, and this is why evil magicians are quite free in acting, because nobody knows, and most of the spiritual people believe that you only need love and light, and this is good for them because then they are free to do with you whatever they like to do. And then we started to make protection rituals. And at this moment when we started those protection rituals, again, a lot of strange things happened. I had a frog in the entrance at my home, but high enough that my Bengal tiger cat was not able to reach it, even by jumping towards it. And then I was on the 2nd floor, and the bell rang because the post brought something, and then there was a sound like an explosion, and my Bengal tiger was very fast on my side and was very surprised and afraid, and I asked him, what's on with you? And we went down together, and then this frog fell down this 2.5 meters from above and on the stone stairs. And of course it was broken. This is not astonishing, yeah? But the astonishing thing here is that it is not broken where it was supposed to broke. This means the corpse is hollow. And if it falls down, it would be usual that exactly in this place it will break. But it has broken on the arms and on the legs. And same place where I had with strange accidents those injuries. And then later this friend who did this ritual with me explained to me that there was a magic attack, maybe in a letter from the post and the postman, and then this frog, the statue, yeah, was the goal. So instead of going into me that I would fall down the stairs, it went into the frog. The frog fell down, it exploded almost, was damaged, and then the person who made this magic attack is seeing in his perception that, oh, the attack has hit because there is a damage, but the magic of the protection made it possible that it hit the frog instead of me. And then a few days later I had visitors from Japan, and then it happened that I wanted to go to a place in Germany where you can climb in trees with a rope, yeah, like hiking. And very funny, what I did a lot in this time and I liked very much. And when I was on this altar we made to do some small rituals every day, I heard a voice in my mind, and this voice was in my mind and outside of my mind and told me clearly, don't go for climbing in the trees. And I wondered, what was this? And then again, don't go for climbing in the trees. And then I thought I would have become somehow psychic, because this is yes, maybe just some hallucination. And there was this voice again. And but I went with my Japanese friends there, and we had to ride for 1 hour. It was still early in the morning. That I'm able to, that we will be when they open, where not so many people are. And when we arrived, there were some employees of this place there, and but it was still closed. And then we were waiting for a while, and then I asked those employees, I thought it would open now, and they said yes, usually it's opening, and we're already waiting here for 1 hour because we have to come early, and our boss is also always coming early to let us in, but not here at the moment. And then I asked them to call the boss. They called the boss and said, oh yeah, it will stay closed today. The boss had decided not to come today. And I asked, is this happening quite often? And then they said, no, it has never happened before.